I'm with How to Taxes, and I'm here to help you prepare your tax return when you are a teacher with educator expenses. To deduct educator expenses, you need to be an eligible educator, which is a teacher from kindergarten through grade 12, an instructor, counselor, principal, or aide who worked in the school for at least 900 hours during the school year. To be deductible, the expenses must be ordinary and necessary expenses. An ordinary expense is one that is common and accepted in your educational field, and a necessary one is one that is helpful and appropriate for your profession as an educator. An expense does not have to be required to be considered necessary. The expenses that are deductible include professional development courses that you have taken that is related to the curriculum that you teach. It also includes books, supplies, equipment, and other materials that are used in your classroom. In addition to this, you can deduct disinfectant spray that is used to protect yourself against the COVID virus. The amount that you can deduct is limited to $300. If your spouse was an educator, you could deduct another $300 of their expense for a total of $600. To go through an example of how this looks on a tax return, we will make the assumptions that you are single and that you have W-2 income from being a teacher and $300 of educator expenses. At the top of the 1040, put your name, your social security number, your address. Check the box that you are single in the filing status section and make sure to answer the question regarding digital assets. On line 1A, put your wages. You can find this information in box 1 of your Form W-2. In our example, your wages were $61,850. Carry that down to line 1Z. In our example, you also had interest income that was reported to you from your bank on a Form 1099 INT in the amount of $300. Place this amount on line 2B. Carry your total income of $62,150 down to line 9. On line 10, we will put your educator expenses. These are reported on Schedule 1, Part 2 on line 11. Carry your $300 of expenses down to line 26 on Schedule 1. On line 11, subtract your adjustments on line 10 from line 9 to arrive at $61,850. On line 12, you will put the larger of your standard or itemized deductions. In our example, your standard deduction will be larger. You can find the amount of this in the box to the left. Since you are single, it is $13,850. Carry that amount down to line 14 as we do not have a qualified business income deduction on line 13. On line 15, subtract line 14 from line 11 to arrive at $48,000 for your taxable income. Next, we will calculate your tax using the tax tables that begin on page 65 of the Form 1040 instructions. Since your taxable income is at least $48,000 but less than $48,050 and you are single, your tax is $5,873. Place that amount on line 16 and carry it down to line 18, 22, and 24 as you don't have any other taxes or credits. On line 25A, put your federal income tax withholding, which you can find in box 2 of your Form W-2. In our example, it is $6,000. Carry that down to line 25D and down to line 33 as this is your only payment. Since you have an overpayment on your tax return, you will place it on line 34, which in our example is $127. If you want it refunded to you and not applied to your next year's tax return, place that amount on line 35A. If you want it directly deposited into your bank account, complete the information on lines 35B through D. If you don't want it directly deposited into your account, cross off lines 35B and D and the IRS will send you a check. Make sure to sign, date, and put your occupation at the bottom of the form. Thank you for watching. I am from How to Taxes. Subscribe for future tax videos.